Chapter 1 Nutrition in Plants Part 3 Biology for Class 7th. We know that non-green plants which do not possess chlorophyll cannot synthesize their own food. So it need to be depend on other for their food like animals and human beings. On that basis, some other mode of nutrition can be seen on plants. So we can say when plant depend on food produced by other plant or decayed organic matter, such mode of nutrition of plant are called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So here are various types of heterotrophic nutrition, which is again divided into four parts, that is parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, symbiotic nutrition and insectivores nutrition. Parasitic nutrition again divided into two parts, that is total parasite and partial parasite. Like that only saprophytic nutrition again divided into total saprophyte and partial parasite. Let us discuss one by one, each with example. Parasitic nutrition. The process by which the plant obtained their necessary nutrition from other plants or animals is called parasitic nutrition. First type is total parasite. For example, Cuscuta. So this is a Cuscuta, which is a leafless plant that need to be depend on host plant for their food. So in this structure you can see that Cuscuta act as a parasite and it is obtaining nutrition from the other plant that is considered as the host plant. This Cuscuta take the nutrition from the host plant with the help of Haustoria. You can see the structure of Haustoria, which is used to suck the nutrients from the host plants. Next, partial parasite. For example, mistletoe and sandal. These are those type of plants which is green in color, means it contains chlorophyll, right? So we can say they depend on the host plant only for water and nutrients. In this picture you can see the mistletoe is growing on other trunk of tree. So here the host plant is supplying water and minerals, and the rest of the process is performed by the mistletoe plant because it already contains chlorophyll in it. Saprophytic nutrition. It is a type of nutrition in which the non-green plant draw their nourishment from dead and decomposed organic substances formed as a result of decay of plant and animals is termed as saprophytes. So there are two types. First is total saprophytes. For example, mucor that grow on bread, it is totally depend on the dead decaying organic matter. So mucor is growing on bread. On other hand, mushroom is growing on dead decaying organic matter. Our next type is partial saprophytes. In this, the plant is the organism is partially depend on the dead decaying organic matter. For example, pinus. We know that pinus is an autotrophic plant, but it has a certain fungus that grow in its root, which absorb the organic nutrients from which supply to the pinus. In return, the pinus tree provided carbohydrate, which is a product of photosynthesis. Symbiotic nutrition. When two organisms live in close association with each other for their mutual benefit in nutrition, this type of nutrition is called symbiotic mode of nutrition. For example, Rhizobium bacteria living in the root nodules of leguminous plant. In this, we know that plant is unable to take the atmospheric nitrogen directly, which is essential element for plant. So, the bacteria like rhizobium help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, from where the plant root take the nitrogen, and in return of this favor, the plant provide the place for living the rhizobium in its root and also provide the nutrients like carbohydrates. Each of the pair is called symbiont and the mode of their association is called symbiosis. Mutualism is another variety of the symbiotic nutrition in which when two plants live in a close association for mutual benefit in obtaining their nutrition is called mutualism. So for example, lichen. Here the lichen is a combination of fungus and algae, where the algae contain photosynthetic pigment which is chlorophyll and fungal part contain hyphae. So in this structure we can clearly see, first of all, fungus is protecting the algal cell, and fungus is also helpful in arranging the moisture and nutrients from its environment which is needed by algae, and algae use those nutrients and minerals for the process called photosynthesis. The product formed by the process of photosynthesis is again given to the fungal part of the lichen. In that way, they both show the partnership for living together, which is called mutualism. Insectivores nutrition. Certain plants grow in such soil which are deficient of nitrogenous nutrients. To fulfill the requirement of nitrogen, plants depend on some outside sources. For that, they are modified to capture and digest insect with the help of certain enzyme. Such plants are called insectivorous plant, and the process of nutrition is called insectivorous nutrition. For example, pitcher plant. In a pitcher plant, the leaf is modified into pitcher-shaped structure, and the leaf apex is modified into the lid. When an insect sits on the rim of the pitcher, the lid is closed and the insect is pushed in the pitcher. The inside of the pitcher is lined with downward pointing hairs. These hairs do not allow the insect to climb back and to escape. The fluid at the bottom of the pitcher contains digestive juices which digest the protein part of the insect. In that way, pitcher plant gets its nutrition. Next example is sundew. Sundew is another example of insectivorous plant. You can see here the upper surface of the leaf blade consists of hairs and glands which secrete sticky fluid. When an insect sits on the leaf surface, it gets entangled. The hair close up the insect and the glands secrete out enzymes which digest the protein of that insect and get the nutrition from it. Next example is Venus flytrap. So the Venus flytrap is a rootless aquatic insectivorous plant. Each plant has two lobes. And the upper surface of the leaf has a sensitive trigger hair with the digestive glands. Right? With the digestive glands. When an insect touches the hair, the two lobes bend immediately. You can see here the two lobes bend immediately. The lobe open only after the digestion is completed with the help of digestive fluid secreted from the gland. Next example, bladderwort. Bladderwort is also a rootless aquatic insectivorous plant. The leaves are modified into a bladder-like structure. Each bladder is supplied with a valve which opens inwardly, in inward direction. The inner wall of bladders bear the several digestive glands. When an insect comes near to the bladder, it stimulates and triggers the hair around the entrance. This opens the trapdoor and insect gets sucked in, where it gets digested inside the bladder wart. How nutrients are replenished in the soil. We know that when crops are grown in field, the plant absorbs mineral nutrients from the soil. So nutrient amount in the soil keep on declining, and the declined amount of nutrients in the soil need to be regained. So nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. For that, farmer add manure or fertilizer in the soil of field. We know that crop require a lot of nitrogen to synthesize proteins, and we also know that after the harvest, the soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. Though the amount of the nitrogen is plenty in the air, but plant cannot use it directly because they need nitrogen in soluble form. This phenomena can be seen in leguminous plant like gram, pea, moong, etc., where the bacterium nitrogen present in the root of leguminous plant can take up the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into the soluble form. If a leguminous crop is grown in a field, there is no need to add nitrogen fertilizer to the soil. Because of this reason, many farmers follow the method of crop rotation, in which growing a cereal crop one year and a leguminous crop in next year. In this way, the nitrogen which is taken up by the cereal is returned back to the soil next year when the leguminous crop is grown. It is because the bacteria in the root nodules picks up the nitrogen present in the air. Thank you.